We've done Battletoads, right? The Turbo Tunnel and all that. We've done Double Dragon, right? We could do a Double Dragon game or a Battletoads. Or fuck it. How about Battletoads Double Dragon? Okay, so we're going to do mode B. So B is the one where you can't hurt each other. And I'm going to be Bimmy, Billy.
Yep, I am going to be Pimple because you don't get to see him often because he's not in the original Battletoads. He's the one you're saving. All right.
You know, when you're a kid, did you ever trade games?
No.
Well, sometimes
I don't think I did that. I was trying to think if I did. I don't think I did.
Yeah, like sometimes on the school bus, like if you have one game that you've played to death and somebody else wants it, but they have something you have, you'd be like, oh, you want to make a trade? Like, I'd do that a lot.
Okay.
And I remember this is one of the most awesome trades I made. I don't remember who made what part of the trade, but one of us had Battletoads Double Dragon and the other had Double Dragon and Battletoads separately. Okay. So that was what the trade was. Battletoads Double Dragon for Battletoads and Double Dragon. You're thinking through which is the better deal, basically.
No, I'm trying to, so 2 games for one?
Yeah, it was 2 games for one, but it was like...
I see.
If whoever... It was probably... Double Dragon I played to death. It's a 4 levels, so there isn't really much to the game. I played it to death. Was never able to beat the machine gun guy at the end. Battletoads, I was never able to beat the Turbo Tunnel.
Sure.
Until that time recently.
Right.
But, so basically I wore those games out to death. And this other kid had Battletoads Double Dragon, which I was more interested in.
Okay.
So I'm pretty sure I was the one who traded 2 games for 1.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
And do you remember playing this game back then?
Yeah, like I loved it. Not as much as the other 2, as Battletoads and Double Dragon.
Yeah. I was always more a fan of Double Dragon 2, I think, than the first one.
Me too.
Because you could play it with 2 people, and I feel like that's just a more fun game to play with other people.
It is. You know, the Double Dragon trilogy on NES is very uneven. Like the first one, they all have flaws, but I think the second one is the most solid.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Sure, why not?
Yeah.
The only thing I can still remember to say about the third one is that just the there's a I'm trying to think of what it was, a jump kick or the jumping spin kick. If you use that in the third game, it's kind of like you just keep spamming that. It makes the game like a lot fucking easier than it otherwise would be.
Yeah, you know what?
But it also makes, if you do that, it also makes the game really unfun because then you're just using the same kick the whole game. You know?
Well, you know what? That era of AVGN 2006, I don't think I really cared enough. Like, it wasn't important for the videos to beat them or anything.
Oh, no, yeah.
So I think that year, I wasn't really trying to beat the games. And a lot of things that I thought were, like, really difficult. Like, Top Gun, I know how to land a plane now.
Yeah.
If you know what you're doing, it's easy. Karate Kid, I played that not too long ago. Maybe a year or 2 ago.
I actually really like that game.
Yeah, it's not that bad. I mean,
there's some definitely flaws.
It's got problems, but I beat it in like 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And
it's an easy game.
But when I played it in 2006, I couldn't beat it. I think I did, but it took like a really long time or something.
You just have to know about like you can just like sit there if you take a little bit of time with it. You can just sit and get the crane, like the drum punches and the crane kicks, and just like collect a million of them. And then the game's like actually not really hard at all, except for still the part where you're like have to jump over the water gaps, and those guys are like knocking you into the water.
Yeah.
But other than that, like that's not really a really hard game. That part of it is fucking bullshit.
But the point is, I think with Double Dragon 3, it might be worth going back to sometime. All those games that I played that first year, I feel like I could do better now.
Yeah. I actually did a video thing on Double Dragon 3. So like I was saying, I mean, it's still hard, but it's easier if you know certain things, kind of. Yeah.
Have we done Double Dragon 3 on Genesis?
No.
It's a
trying to think if
totally
I
different
played
game.
that. I don't think I played that one.
You know what? That might be worth it.
Yeah, that might be good. There's so many things.
Yeah.
So many games. Then there was Double Dragon Neon. I think, did you and I play that at one point?
We did. I believe we did a Monday video on it. I remember thinking this was cool with the 3D.
Yeah. Oh, and here you go, by the way. This is
like the Turbo Tunnel.
Yeah, this is the Turbo Tunnel.
But much easier.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that. Look how easy.
Well, that's the beginning of the Turbo Tunnel when you do it. It goes slow, but then it
gets
ramps
faster.
Up. Yeah.
I'm Sammy.
Now it's getting faster.
Oh, they come out from the back. Wow, that was a sucker punch. Come on. There we go. Oh, it's Guile. Oh, shit.
Oh, I had to tell you something, by the way. So, remember when we were playing those ColecoVision games?
Yeah.
Remember when we played Rocky?
Yeah.
So we were like punching like Clubber Lang and all that. And like it was like the game was like kind of working, but we were kind of like, oh, this is like all you can do or whatever.
Okay.
We were doing something wrong. There's the ColecoVision Super Action controllers, which you actually have. I see them sitting right over there.
All right.
That's a game that apparently requires those.
Really?
And there's a lot more punches and stuff that you can do if you have those.
Oh, so you can do like uppercuts.
Yeah, you can do like other shit. So I just wanted to throw that out there.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, we didn't know. You know what? We also didn't have the instruction manual because it's a 40-year-old ColecoVision
Well, I would have
game.
never imagined that there were more controllers and like you could add more buttons to ColecoVision.
Right.
Because it already has that whole keypad. Like why would you need more like buttons?
That's a good point. Yeah, that's a really good point.
Yeah.
By the way, there is a rat boss in regular Battletoads. It's like on the surfing stage. So I believe so. That's probably what they're taking this from. I wonder if it's actually the same dude.
I think so.
Yeah. I can't wait for the new Karate Kid to come back.
Oh, season 2 of Cobra Kai. That show's great.
I keep calling it Karate Kid, but it's
it's Karate Kid basically.
You're like it's fucking Karate Kid.
Would be Karate Kid 5 or?
Well, it's not a movie.
Kid, but yeah, I know.
Right. These fucking things. I remember this. You know when this game gets hard? So I just remembered.
Okay.
So it's all like it gets hard, but like the part that gets ridiculously hard is basically this game turns into like asteroids or something like that at a certain point, and it's just like it's not even like this on a stage.
Oh, I thought you jumped down.
Yeah,
I saw the
hold
arrow.
the B.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this is like level 2 Battletoads.
Oh, you're right,
yeah. Anyway, at that point, it's just like it becomes like a hard shooter, and it's just like the gameplay totally changes, and it's like oh shit, and you're kind of like not really prepared for it because it just like comes up, and you're like oh shit, and that's usually where I die because I'm just like
it's toward the end. You're saying
it's not. It's probably like in the middle of the game somewhere, so it's probably like a few stages away. But I always remember, like, I die there because I'm like, all right, well, this isn't even, like, Battletoads. It's not even, And this, by the way, this game is much more Battletoads than it is
Double Dragon. Definitely.
Like the gameplay.
I think, well, Double Dragon on NES didn't really know what it was. It was kind of something different every time.
Right, that's true.
Oh, boy, is that... Oh, one person dies in your boat.
Remember?
Oh, does it do that shit? No. Oh, that sucks.
Remember when you did the nerd video?
Well, that was Battletoads,
right?
So they decided to carry that over.
Yeah.
Oh God!
Yeah.
Like they didn't learn.
That already makes me feel like fun. So it's basically like you probably want to play this one player. The only thing about it is I wonder if they tone down the difficulty. Like maybe it's easier if you do this 2-player, but like. This is like NES. Like I don't know if they even did that at that point. You know what I'm saying?
I think.
Like there's no difficulty curve because like if you're doing this by yourself and fighting the same amount of enemies, then it's gonna be harder.
Yeah, I can't think of a game with a difficulty like option, right? Like a.
Yeah. Well, where they would automatically like curve the game to be easier for 1 player or 2 player.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I understand now.
Yeah. What I'm saying is like let's say right now you went through this game by yourself, would there be the same amount of enemies?
Yeah, and I don't know.
Yeah. That's something it would be easy to figure out.
Yeah.
But,
I mean, I bet somebody knows.
Yeah. By the way, like so you and I will sit here for hours and hours and hours just talking, whatever, playing these games. And then there's other times when you're recording like a voiceover, a script.
Yeah.
Do you find that that's way more taxing on your voice than doing something like this?
Yeah, definitely, because you're not. I guess the reason why it is because like right now I'll be adjusting my voice for whatever just feels natural.
I died this time.
Yeah. But when you're doing the script, it's like there's parts where okay, I need to be loud now, or I need to be. You don't have as much of a choice. And I try to like in Earthbound, in that video, that was a 40-minute nerd episode. So I had to conserve my voice in that episode. So I made sure to like talk very
Shit. Sorry.
Oh, that's all right. Oh shit. Damn. So I made sure to like reserve my voice so I could last throughout the episode.
Right.
But it's also like you're trying to, when you read. I mean, if anybody wants to know what I mean, just try like reading a book out loud, like anything. Like,
right.
Just read, the back of a game box, anything. Just read it out loud.
As opposed to like, talking naturally, because when you talk naturally, you can kind of do it at your own pace. I guess
you lose your breath more, especially when you're alone. It's like nobody else. You don't have a chance to catch your breath when the other person talks. You're just talking, and then you stumble on a word or you don't say it the right way. Like the sentence is kind of like you don't read it with the right inflection as it's supposed to have, and then you're like, oh, okay, well, I understand what.
Then
this...
you gotta do it again. And
yeah.
Oh, gee, fucking! Did you see that? That was the fucking gun that killed me there.
Oh boy! Oh,
son of a bitch!
Geez.
Shit! And they're gonna put me over there, right?
Or they'll just make you dead and then make us both dead.
That's okay. That's a big fucking flaw with this game.
If you're gonna do that, at least reset my lives.
Yeah.
Like, look, now I'm gonna die. Like, you know what? I'm gonna die. Just let me do it.
It's so stupid.
Yeah.
This game's probably better to play because of that. One player.
Maybe after this, you want to do it one player?
Yeah. Why don't we do that?
Let's do it now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck it. Yeah. Fuck this 2-player.
Because this is just gonna piss us off.
Yeah. We're just gonna get pissed off. So here you go.
So that means you get 5 characters to play this as, if you want to play this in single player. You could do it with different characters.
Yeah. That if they let you switch after after you die.
No, I didn't even mean that. I meant if you start from the beginning, you could play it again as another person if you wanted to.
Yeah, so that's cool.
Because like when you're younger, like back then, it was kind of like, to me now it's just like, okay, it's just a sprite swap. But if you're like a kid and you're like, oh, now I get to play as Pimple, now I get to play as
There's really no difference. Except with the dragons.
Yeah.
I don't like that you have to get the points. Because when, you know what I mean? Like when you get the point, you should just have it. Instead, you have to go over to it and punch it.
Instead of it just going up.
Yeah, it's like that right there. You gotta go over and like punch the number 5,000. Like
that doesn't make sense.
Those are doing what I'm talking about. Just go.
But some of the things, the points drop down. You know what it should be when it drops down? It should be like an object. Because imagine if in real life there was like, this sounds like a fucking nerd joke right now, but imagine if in real life there was just points in front of you. Like, it doesn't make sense. Yeah. So he's just seeing numbers on the ground. He saw all
the points. Yeah. And he went over to punch the point to get the points.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens here. Yeah.
It's weird to me too that those are like cubes or whatever. It's just the whole thing's weird. These things are weird.
Yeah.
Like I always feel like Ninja Gaiden is like really like fun and satisfying to play, like the controls. This just always feels like clunky and like not that fun to me. Yeah, I don't know.
This game in particular?
I mean, it's okay. No, I mean, it's okay. It's just like there's other games that have better controls, basically.
Yeah.
Better feeling controls, for sure.
That is very peculiar how it just says fight.
The whole game's weird. Well, you're fighting a giant rat.
What does that tell you? Fight? Like, yeah, that's what we're doing here.
The whole game we've been fighting.
The entire game we're fighting. What does that tell us that we didn't already know? Fight. I liked all the subliminal like things in Bubble Bobble, like when there's always like a message or something. Sometimes it just says, I don't know, like TNT or something, or
shit.
Wow, squash and flat.
I do like the ram thing a lot. I use that a lot.
Yeah, me too.
The kick, maybe it's the kick that I don't like, because the kick is so short.
Like the boot.
Here, I'll do it right now.
Okay.
Like, well, now he's not doing it. Now he's pulling her hair because it's like that. I like.
That's kind of cool, yeah.
When it happens, I'll tell you.
Okay.
And now it's going to do everything different because now I'm going to be jumping up top to get the yellow things.
Exactly.
So never mind. I'll never be able to explain it.
No, of course not. You know the RAM? I never, as a kid, it took me a while to even understand what it was.
Oh, look, there it is. There it is.
Oh yeah, there you go. Okay, now punch the or step on it.
I think you get. Oh, do you have to hit it again to get it? Or
the points? Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I thought you had to punch it, but you just step on it. Yeah, the RAM. I remember not being able to like figure out what it was. I'm like, why is it when I dash, I do like this weird like. It kind of just looked like scrambled graphics to me. Like I didn't understand what it was trying to be. And then finally, I think I might have seen like an illustration of it or looked in the manual or whatever. And it's like, oh, okay, it's like a ram's like horns. Right. I get it. All right, want to take over?
Yes.
All right, okay.
I'd be glad.
Oh man.
Get it, James. Fuck that fucking thing.
Fuck up that gun. Yeah.
Cheese gun.
Oh, B, I hit the wrong.
Yeah, I hate that part.
Why is it? It's because you're kicking, I guess.
Yeah.
I thought it was like.
If you hit it again, he'll like pause in the air, sort of. It's hard, like that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It's just bad. And then you can turn onto the wrecking ball.
Oh, okay. I remember now. Here we go.
Yeah. I always thought that the way that works is just like bizarre.
It is. Like you hold toward the wall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just I don't like it.
Mm-hmm.
The thing about Double Dragon 2 though is when it is cool that you can play 2 players, but certain parts of the game are really difficult 2 players.
Like the spikes when you're jumping.
Yeah, like all the jumping. So I think we made it. I want to say we made it a little past that, but there was some point. I don't know. We didn't beat it 2 players. Mm-hmm. A lot of these games are much harder to do 2 players, and then there's been a bunch of examples of that.
Yeah,
with the games that we played.
Top 10 games that are harder with 2 players.
Yeah, that'd be a good video, actually. Yeah. This one.
Top 10s though are like, boy, it's been so long since I've done one. They're so time consuming to do.
Yeah.
It's like 10 reviews. Just like you're doing 10 game reviews.
Oh, I know.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember you were doing a bunch of like really cool ones for a while.
I stopped because I got burnt out on it.
Yeah.
I did.
I don't blame you.
Top 10. Maybe it was top 20. I don't even fucking remember now. Obscure NES games. And then I did top 10, or top 20, whatever it was, obscure SNES games. Mm-hmm. And I think that's a couple of the best videos that I ever made. But it would take me 3-4 days to play one game because I was trying to play each one thoroughly because I wanted to do a good review.
Especially if you're doing it like that.
Yeah, I was doing it legit. I was trying to make them really, really good. And not just a quick pop it in this game, whatever. I wanted to really play them and know what the fuck I was talking about. Because if you're talking about a top 10, it's you should, I played for those videos. I really did it legit. I would play more than 10. I'd play
because you want to narrow it down.
Yeah,
what's the best? 10,
I was playing 15 or 20. And then I would narrow it down. I'd do research and all. Yeah. Anyway, I put a lot of work into those videos. So I did the NES one. I did the Super Nintendo one. Then I was okay, am I going to do Genesis or N64? And I was all right, well, I'll skip the N64 because people would expect Genesis to be the next one to do. Okay. So I was I'll do N64. So I wrote half the N64 video. And I was in the middle of playing this game called Jet Force Gemini. And the game is really long, and I think the reason I got burnt out is N64 games are so much longer than NES games.
Oh yeah.
It's just I was trying to beat a bunch of N64 games, and I was just
you want to do a top 10 RPGs?
Yeah, exactly. It's and then play the whole games and beat them, and
you'll be 60 years old.
Yeah, exactly. So I just I was in over my head basically, and that's why I stopped for a while doing that because I was just whatever. And I was gonna go back and do Genesis, but then I just never did. Anyway, so my opinion of this game is, I think this is a pretty good game. It's got its flaws. Obviously, we talked a million times about, the 2-player thing. That part of it sucks. But, I mean, it's a pretty good game. It's fun. I think some of the hit detection is not the best, but this is an okay game. If you have an NES collection, there's better games you could get, but this is an okay game.
Yeah, and as long as you do 1 player.
Yeah, play 1 player if you're going to play it, for sure.
Yep, they still didn't learn.
Yeah.